You've probably heard the stat that the richest people don't work for their money. They make their money work for them. But what does that actually mean in practice? It's not magic, and it's not insider secrets locked behind country club gates. The wealthy follow a specific playbook when it comes to growing their capital. And today, I'm going to break down the exact strategies they use, the investment vehicles they prioritize, and the mindset shifts that separate passive wealth builders from people stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck grind. I'm Kyle, and if you're serious about moving beyond saving into real wealth accumulation, this is your roadmap. Stick with me until the end, because we're covering not just where to put your money, but how to think about growth, risk, and time horizons the way millionaires and billionaires do every single day. The first principle the rich live by is simple but counterintuitive. They prioritize cash flow over quick gains. While most people chase the next hot stock or lottery ticket investment, wealthy individuals focus on assets that generate predictable, recurring income, dividends from stocks, rent from real estate, interest from bonds, royalties from intellectual property, and profits from businesses. The goal isn't to hit it jackpot once. It's to build a machine that pays you monthly, quarterly, and annually without requiring your active labor. Cash flow creates financial independence because it covers your living expenses while your principal keeps growing. When you receive $3,000 a month in passive income and your expenses are $2,500, you're financially free. The rich obsess over this number and structure their entire portfolios to maximize it, not just their net worth on paper. Next, they diversify intelligently across asset classes, not just within them. Most people think diversification means owning 20 different stocks. The rich think bigger. They own stocks, real estate, businesses, commodities, bonds, and alternative investments like private equity or collectibles. This protects them from any single market crash and lets them capture growth wherever it's happening. Real estate might boom while stocks are flat. Commodities might surge during inflation while bonds lag. By spreading capital strategically across uncorrelated assets, they smooth out volatility and reduce risk without sacrificing returns. The key word is intelligently. They don't scatter money randomly. They study each asset class, understand the risks and return profiles, and allocate based on their goals and timelines. If you want to grow money like they do, stop putting all your eggs in one basket and start building a true portfolio. The wealthy also use leverage responsibly to amplify returns. Leverage means borrowing money to invest, and when used correctly, it's one of the most powerful wealth-building tools available. Real estate investors use mortgages to control properties worth far more than their cash investment. Business owners use loans to expand operations and capture market share. Even stock investors use margin cautiously to increase position sizes. The magic of leverage is that it multiplies gains. If you put $50,000 down on a $250,000 property that appreciates 10%, you made $25,000 on your $50,000, a 50% return. But leverage is a double-edged sword. It also magnifies losses. The rich manage this by stress testing their debt, maintaining liquidity buffers, and only leveraging assets that generate cash flow to service the debt. If you're going to use leverage, treat it like a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. Another core strategy is investing for decades, not days. The rich have a long time horizon, and they let compound interest do the heavy lifting. They're not checking their portfolios daily or panic selling during downturns. They understand that wealth is built in years 10 through 30, not in year 1. Warren Buffett made 99% of his wealth after age 50 because he stayed invested and let compounding work. Einstein allegedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and the rich treat it like gospel. Every dollar invested today doesn't just grow, it generates returns that generate more returns, creating exponential curves over time. If you invest $10,000 at 8% annual returns, in 30 years, it's over $100,000 without adding a single additional dollar. The rich start early, stay consistent, and never interrupt the compounding process. Time in the market beats timing the market every single time. They also prioritize tax efficiency obsessively. Taxes are one of the biggest drags on wealth accumulation, and the rich structure their finances to minimize them legally. They max out tax-advantaged accounts like 401ks, IRAs, and HSAs. They hold investments long-term to benefit from lower capital gains rates. They use tax loss harvesting to offset gains with strategic losses. They invest in municipal bonds for tax-free income. Real estate investors use depreciation to shield rental income. Business owners deduct expenses and reinvest profits before paying taxes. The difference between paying 40% in taxes and 15% is enormous over decades. It can literally double your ending wealth. If you're not thinking about taxes, you're leaving a massive amount of money on the table. Wealthy people work with accountants and financial planners to optimize every dollar and keep more of what they earn working for them.
The rich also invest in themselves relentlessly. They view education, skills, and networks as the highest ROI investments available. Learning a high-income skill, earning a certification, or building expertise in a niche market can increase earning power by 50% or more in a single year. That's a better return than almost any stock or real estate deal. They also invest in health, physical and mental, because they know being sharp and energetic multiplies productivity and decision quality. They spend on mentors, masterminds, and conferences to access better ideas and faster execution. Every dollar spent on personal growth pays dividends for life, and the rich allocate capital here without hesitation. If you're only investing money in external assets and ignoring your own capabilities, you're missing the single biggest wealth multiplier available to you. They protect their wealth as aggressively as they grow it. This means insurance, estate planning, legal structures, and emergency funds. The rich carry adequate life, disability, and liability insurance to protect against catastrophic loss. They use trusts, LLCs, and other legal entities to shield assets from lawsuits and creditors. They maintain liquidity, cash reserves, or credit lines so they're never forced to sell investments at a loss during emergencies. They have wills, powers of attorney, and succession plans to ensure wealth transfers smoothly to heirs. Protecting wealth isn't sexy, but it's essential. You can build a fortune and lose it overnight without proper safeguards. The wealthy treat risk management as a non-negotiable part of their financial strategy, not an afterthought. Another principle, the rich are contrarian buyers. They buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. Market crashes, recessions, and panics create opportunities to acquire quality assets at discounts. Warren Buffett famously said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." While average investors panic sell during downturns, the wealthy are deploying capital, knowing that markets recover and those who stay disciplined capture the rebound. This requires emotional control, cash reserves, and conviction in your strategy. The rich prepare for downturns by keeping dry powder, cash or stable investments ready to deploy when valuations drop. If you want to grow wealth like they do, stop following the herd and start positioning yourself to act when opportunity strikes. Here's a practical framework you can implement immediately. The wealthy use the bucket strategy to allocate capital by goal and timeline. Bucket 1 is immediate liquidity, 6 to 12 months of expenses in cash or money market funds for emergencies and peace of mind. Bucket 2 is short-term growth, 3 to 7 years, invested in balanced portfolios of bonds and dividend stocks for near-term goals like a house down payment. Bucket 3 is long-term wealth, 10-plus years, allocated aggressively to stocks, real estate, and growth assets that compound over decades. This structure ensures you're never forced to sell long-term investments during short-term needs, and each dollar is optimized for its purpose. Set up your buckets, automate contributions, and rebalance annually. This one strategy alone will put you ahead of 90% of investors. Common mistakes that stop people from growing money like the rich. First, waiting for the perfect moment to start. The best time was yesterday. The second best is today. Second, investing without education. Throwing money at things you don't understand is gambling, not investing. Third, letting emotions drive decisions. Fear and greed kill returns. Discipline and patience build wealth. Fourth, ignoring fees. High management fees, trading costs, and unnecessary taxes compound negatively and erase years of gains. Fifth, failing to automate. Relying on willpower instead of systems guarantees inconsistency. The rich avoid these traps through preparation, continuous learning, and iron discipline. Audit yourself honestly. Fix one mistake per quarter and you'll transform your financial trajectory within 2 years. At the core, growing money like the rich means treating investing as a craft, not a gamble. It's about cash flow, diversification, leverage, time, tax efficiency, self-investment, protection, and discipline. Start today. Open an investment account, fund your first bucket, pick one asset class to learn deeply, and commit to a 10-year horizon minimum. Track your net worth and cash flow monthly, not your paycheck. Surround yourself with people who invest seriously and learn from those ahead of you. The gap between you and wealthy investors isn't luck or connections. It's knowledge, habits, and time. All three are within your control. Tell me in the comments which strategy you're implementing first. And remember, the rich aren't special. They just play a different game. And now you know the rules. Let's grow.